Howdy ho, partners. Long time no chat. I had something that occurred to me yesterday while I was sharing with a friend today. Lion's Portal, right? 8-8. So let's start off. I think the best way to start this off is by explaining that one of my biggest wounds that I've experienced in this lifetime is the wound of not feeling lovable or that I'm forgettable. And that's been kind of my belief, at least through what I experienced through my childhood and into adolescence and some of my experiences into my early adulthood. So it's like this subconscious thing that was kind of running in the background of just not lovable. People stop loving me. Nobody cares about me. Just kind of that dialogue that's silently playing like a record in the background. So yesterday was a pretty chill day. Texted my clients when I was coming next, just getting some chores done around the house, and a couple different interactions with people occurred. And first off, one of my clients that I clean for, I've been cleaning for since I started 8 years ago, responded to my schedule and started chatting, and lo and behold, it was like, would you like to go to a concert with me? And I sat with it because I do have this big fear of missing out, right? Like this belief that if I'm not present or if I don't continually show up, then people are going to forget about me. So I sat with it, and it didn't feel aligned. I really needed to stay home, rejuvenate, relax, and I chose into that. But it was this beautiful exchange of conversation and just lots of beautiful things that were shared between the two of us, like a reference that there's so many things that you're good at. So we'll see what the universe has in store for that. And then later that night, I got an Instagram message from a dear friend that I had done some backpacking with and got to know intimately. Intimately, like when you're in the backcountry, you don't have your electronic devices, and there's something about nature that strips you, and you're more apt to be vulnerable and show the sides of you that maybe other people don't get to see. Well, anyways, he messaged me because I had made a story, and I love you, I miss you. I haven't talked to him in years. And I was like, wow. And that he had really enjoyed our adventures, and I had as well. Like it really pulled at a piece of my heart. And I just was like, wow, right? And with a breakup that happened close to 3 years ago, there were a lot of people that I wouldn't say shut out, but my direction and my line of sight was just a little bit different, and it didn't include a lot of people. I had a lot of shame around the breakup, and when people would see me, it was like, wow, they're gonna see that I'm not worthy. Like there's just this sticky, heavy shame, and it just like suffocated me. So there's part of that, but that's a whole nother story. So we're having this dialogue happening between the two of us, and I just was like, God, this is so freaking beautiful. Thank you for reaching out. And so then I'm literally going to bed. This is about an hour later after his message, going to bed about an hour later, and another individual texts me that I had met at the spiritual living church here in Boise. And what's crazy is her ex-husband is the father of my best friend's first child. So there's like something crazy being orchestrated with the universe. But her message, well, what was funny is that my friend that had messaged me through Instagram was like, it's 8-8 portal, manifest and meditate. And I kind of was like, yeah, I'm doing that every day. Well, this text message comes in, and it's like the most beautiful text message that she had listened to my Facebook message about climbing this peak and deciding to turn around because in some parts of me I was pushing to prove that I was capable, that I was driven, that I was worth being seen, that I was worth being chosen. Look at me, look at what I can do. And I kind of had this realization in this moment of making this small clip, and I kind of cried towards the end. And I shared that on Facebook and sat with that. And that, the mountain wasn't to be conquered, that we were all one, that the mountain was me and I was the mountain. It was really this beautiful thing that kind of transpired on the hillside. I sat down and contemplated that and really reflected on all of that and shared that. So she reached out and just said how much of an inspiration I was, and that the time that we had met 2 years ago was a really, really hard time for her, and rightfully so. That she's on the other side of it, and that she liked my vibe and would love to hang out. And I guess really the meat and potatoes of this is the universe was like, nope, you're going to choose into something different, Portia. I don't know, it was like the first time I fully received how much I am an inspiration to so many people. It's like, yeah, I hear it, people tell me it, and it's like, yeah. It's like a girl that doesn't know she's pretty, and they're like, you're beautiful, and she's like, thank you. Like there's this awkwardness or uncomfortableness within. I fully received it, and I actually laid in bed and looked at the ceiling and just cried and cried and cried and cried. Because it was just like, your manifestation is to trust your energy, Portia. That you are not forgettable. And what's crazy is even earlier I had saw like my dance community all hanging out together, and there's like this backstory or backdrop that happens inside that says, I'm left out, right? That's another story. I'm always left out. I'm forgettable. I'm left out. People are gonna forget me. It's like, and I witnessed that, right? That's the story that was being said that I could witness. And that's just a painful part of me. And I honored that because of what I've experienced in the past. And I said, no, that's not my truth. Why do you have to always be seen? Why do you have to always be present? Your energy is making an impact even in the smallest moments. If you're living in your truth, you're living in your light, you're living in your love, trust. Trust the real you is guiding you. And so it's like with my client and not talking to him for a while, yes, cleaning, totally. But the joy that was brought about in that conversation and the wanting to connect, reconnect, and then my friend through Instagram and wanting to connect and share, I miss you, I love you. And even at that point in my life, like I was not in my best light, but I still made an impact. And then this gal from the church that's connected uniquely through my best friend, and it's like, just trust. Just like bam, bam, bam yesterday evening. And it's like I really just believed that. And I journaled, I did a little dictation on my phone before I went to sleep. And it's like, do you want to hold on to those beliefs? It's like, no, I just want to live in my heart and know that I am love, that we all are love. So hopefully this somehow resonates with you. Maybe there's a little tidbit that you pick up on, but I was completely grateful to be able to choose into something different, like fully choose into it. I'd just been scratching the surface and contemplating this, like, why do you always gotta go to dance? Why do you always gotta do this? It's like, Why I always gotta climb to the top of the mountain? It's like, 'cause you're not trusting yourself. Trusting what's real for you in every moment and keeping it simple. And then what's crazy is I heard Eckhart Tolle on my Audible when I was driving to go do an errand, and he talked about truth and simplicity. And I was just like, I can't make this shit up. Anyways, mad love. Remember your heart. Remember the innocence. We were little children running around, joyful, expressive, playing. We weren't worried, we weren't thinking. Just kind of a product of what happened. What do you want to choose? It's kind of been my motto. So thank you, universe, for allowing me to really fully shift and receive that my energy is like a fingerprint. And the right people, right circumstances, and experiences will make its way towards me. 1111. Anyways, mwah.